My name's Jimmy Donald Dobbs Sr. So you can call me Jim, or you can call me Don, or you can call me Jimmy Don, but you don't have to call me Mr. Dobbs. I'm 74 years old, and they all think I'm a kid. I was a family of 8 siblings, I being second to the oldest. Born 1942. Lived with my mom for a while after my mom and dad separated, 1956 or 58, and had to take a job to support my family. So I began work full-time at about age 15. And 2 fellows, Gene Hodges and Vaughn Mater, inherited the company. And they were Poolvillians, and they knew of my situation and my family, and they hired me in the fall of 1962. I began work for Wilhite, and I had had some previous training, kind of OJT material, and learned how to work on small engines and automobile mechanic, and putting brakes on people's cars and painting cars, and learned how to do a number of things with my hands. And all these things that I learned how to do were beneficial to me. Uncle Sam decided he needed me, and he sent me a greetings letter one day. And I of course didn't appreciate it, because I had been married and I didn't care about leaving my wife and family. So one of the hardest things that I ever did in my life was leaving my wife and baby, standing on the street, not knowing whether I'd ever see him again. But fortunately, God blessed me, and I made it 2 years in Uncle Sam's service. Spent 365 days, 2 hours and 15 minutes in Vietnam, and was much more fortunate than some 58,000 were that lost their lives. Got my honorable discharge from Uncle Sam. Came back to my job at Wilhite's and have pursued that diligently since that time. And here I am. The hardest thing that I have to do in life is wanting somebody to know. People are so used to seeing things that are unreal. So as a result of people, they just kind of expect to see something unreal. And it's the hardest job that I have, is for somebody knowing that I'm what you're getting. That's it. This is real. And to reveal that is a difficult task. When you're called to the service, if somebody doesn't know you're real, you don't mean anything to them. But if you can explain to them why you were called, and they can understand that, that has a lot of merit to it. Some people think they don't have a testimony. Listen, if you ever became a child of God, you've got a testimony. And yours might be as important as somebody that's 5 hours long or went through some tragic thing, because you might be the only picture of Jesus that someone ever sees, where they might not ever hear this other. So it's where you're at, and it's where he's at when he's with you. And that's where he was at the night that I was called. I was on a trip to Plainview, Texas, and someone had asked me if I had ever considered to be a preacher. And I can still feel it today. It feels like cold chills kind of running up and down the back of the spine when they asked me. I didn't expect to ever have to answer a question like that in my life, if I wanted to become a pastor or a preacher or the ministry. I had put everything between me and God as a reason for why I shouldn't surrender to the ministry. I surrendered to the ministry, and the burden of my heart was lifted away. It's like I'd been born again. And I have not got over it yet.